Let's make our journal paper more interesting by tea dyeing it. The basics are pretty easy, and I will show you 3 other products you can add to make it even more interesting. Hello and welcome to Marian's Mixed Media. My name is Marian and I love to dive into the world of crafting and mixed media art. If you're new here, I would love it if you join my channel by subscribing. And when you watch my videos often, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Today we are going into tea dyeing. I had to do it myself a couple of times over a number of months before showing it on camera. Now I can tell you all about my tips for making beautiful papers to use in your journal. The first time dyeing papers I used coffee. It is the same process, but then with a coffee solution. I didn't like it because the smell kept lingering for days and your journals will also keep smelling like coffee. And I love the color of tea dyeing more. So tea it is. These are the 3 key ingredients and you're all set to go for tea dyeing. So it is tea. And this is just a cheap supermarket brand. It says in Dutch, black tea English blend. And that's all that there is. So that's perfect. And also, after you made the tea, you can keep the tea bags, let them dry and use that tea paper, of course. Just your regular copy paper. And this is a, oh, it says so, what does it say? It doesn't say, but it's an 80 grams, just a white paper. And then it's all crackly, sorry for the noise. And then a box container tray. I recently purchased this one because I had a much bigger one and this is perfect. This is a storage box and it just fits under my camera. And I have like the inside size. This is the metric system, centimeters. But it's just important then that your paper will fit inside. That's kind of the requirement, so that you have a paper. Let's get a paper out. And that your paper, put the lid off, and that your paper will fit inside. So that's very important. And one key benefit I just found out after I bought the box is that it has a raised area in the middle. And so that is very nice because then the excess tea can drain like around. Because what I found out is that in the first, this is already my first thing I found out, my first tip. I made a tea bath before, so I poured all the tea in here and then just stapled the paper one by one on top of each other in a tea bath. Let that sit, and then the next morning pull the paper out and let it to dry. So you can do that, that's totally perfect. But if you want to do a little bit more as to special effects, then this is handy. So you just pour your tea into a spray bottle. That's the only thing. So I would say 4 key ingredients for making the tea, because this one is really good to moisten, wet the paper, but not soak it through in a bath. And of course, I will show that to you after I explained all the materials. Because it's quite a thing, because it's so big, I have to maneuver it all under my camera. So this paper let me zoom, is made with the tea bath, as I just explained. So it's more a plain color, although it varies in darkness, as you can see, because this one was probably the bottom paper. It tends to get darker, more the paper lays on the bottom, and you see all different shades, but they are all from the same tea bath. So they're more like plain, and maybe you want that. So if you want just the more plain, then use the tea bath. If you don't want that and you want more of texture, then use the spray bottle. I have some papers you saw in the beginning, but they are also with other effects. So let me show you this one. Like this effect you will get with using the spray. And of course I used some other items in here, but then you get more irregular color, like here, because there were some pools with water, and some were barely covered in tea. So then you get this effect. What are my 3 favorite products to add in for extra effect? So here is my first favorite product to use in the tea dyeing, and it's metal. I went to a couple of flea markets the last months, and I just purchased some here and there. I didn't want to spend too much on it, but a few weeks ago I bought this tray, and sadly it doesn't fit my regular size copy paper. That's an A4 in Europe. It doesn't fit it, but it fits smaller paper. So that's really nice, and I love it. It makes me very happy. I don't know why, but it does. So I also have some new metal things, like this wire I bought new, but I'm just going to continue using this, and it will rust. I used it once and it's already a little bit rusty, and it will give an effect on the paper even if it's not rusty. They are not beer caps, they are wine caps, but they are softer material than beer bottle caps. And these are new. I bought a bag on at Amazon, so I am just throwing in a few and they will become nice and rusty. And these items I bought, so this is like baking goods, and oh, there's still the price on. You see, 25 cents. Well, that's what the prices I want to, because I haven't used these ones, and that's like the prices I want to pay for it. So I have these ones. There was just a metal, this is an old one, but it was just in a kind of tray with all kinds of flea market stuff. And this I bought at a technical guy who had all tools and everything, and he had also these old, I had to really dig into a wooden case for that, and I did, because I really liked it. And there are some really nice ornaments in them, and I paid like for a box, but these ones, they are like for doors, or I don't know, something with locks and keys. And so I bought this and this, and I just paid a few euros for it, and it's really not that much, I think, because they're really beautiful ornaments, and these are also really nice. So I can put that on the paper, and it's already getting more rusted because I've used them a couple of times. And these I bought recently. These are the baking, lots of baking goods like this tray and these nice little shapes. These are also little baking shapes. And these ones, I have 10 of them, and it was just 10 for €1. I mean, like, come on. These are great, right? So that's a whole tray full of all kinds of shapes. If you want, you can purchase it or buy it from a flea market. So metal things will give a very interesting shape and also color to your paper. So next, what you can use are infusions. So I have 3, and I'm going to buy some more colors because I really love these infusions. So you just need a little bit of powder, and they are quite inexpensive, I think, for coloring, for a pigment. And just throw in a little bit. I will show you when we get busy. And then, of course, the spray stains, you can use them in here. And then I would use like the Vintage Photo, Rusty Hinge, or like these colors. But this is the perfect thing to experiment. So you can go every direction you want. You can do it very plain or go full out. So let's clear my desk and we go to the tea dyeing. The tea dyeing process takes time. So ideally I make the tea the night before in a pot or thermos, and I use little more than 1 liter and 4 bags of tea. The next day I will put that in my spray bottle. Then I will do the tea dyeing, but that also has to sit and get an effect. So overnight leaving it, and then the next day you can get it out of the container, leave it to dry, and then you will be on the end of the day. So it takes 2 days and a night before you get your paper. What I also have here, and I store it in my storage bin, is the kitchen towel where I lay the paper on to dry, because I use them on several occasions. Every time I can use them. And the more you use them, the interesting they will look. And you can also use them for collaging if you want to. Some are really nice dark, and but for now these will do for tomorrow for the drying. And for now we're going to use this empty tray and go start dyeing. One thing I have to mention is that you can just put in your copy paper and dye, and then that's just it. But you can also plan ahead. So that's what I did now, because I have here some paper I cut to size for a project that I will do. So there is the paper that I've cut, and these are the leftover bits that I'm also going to dye. And I have some white copy paper, I have the cream color, and I also have some music paper. So these are all cut in the size that I want to use. So I'm going to use this to put in this tray, and I'm going to use the small bits to put in my metal tray. But we're going to start here. And the first thing I'm going to do is make the bottom a little bit wet, because dry paper can just cling to this, and then it will be difficult to get it off while you have to wet it. So let's spray a bit on the bottom. Normally I will do this on the floor, but for now I'm doing it here, a little bit careful because I don't want to spray all over my desk. So this is a reasonable amount. Then I will get one of my papers and will put it on, and then I will spray it. Make this bottom one really nice wet, and then I can choose what I want. What do I want to do? I don't want to stack, of course, these big ones because there's going to be paper on top. So I'm using more flat material. So I think I'm going to do use a little bit of the antique linen. I want to go for a little bit of subtle. Just going to leave it like that. And I'm going, let's see, go for a little bit more of the flatter stuff, and it will go through your paper several layers. So if you put the next paper on, and I will spray a little bit on the metal. I think my spray bottle doesn't like it when I keep it upside down. So I'm spraying a little bit on the metal because I want the reaction. Then I'm going to put this on. Doesn't have to be really exactly, but I'm just doing that. And then spraying again. So this is kind of the process. Spraying. And I don't have to, because I have those like, how do you call it, more gusset-like, I think you can call it like gussets. The tea water will go there with all the paint. And I can, if I want to, get that paint and put it in my spray bottle to use. So that will be a nice, I think one side is a little bit longer than the other side. Do I want some metal stuff on it? I'm talking and then I'm forgetting. Let's see. I want to do something in this corner. Putting that one. And do I have two? Yes, I have two of those. Put something like that. Spraying it. Otherwise it will not rust. And then putting the paper on. And spraying it again. So this is what I keep repeating. And I will let you see how I do it with the infusions. And I will just keep on layering, and maybe I'm going to speed it up. Let's see, this is a, do I want a blue? Yeah, let's do a blue one. This is a bit jaded. And I will just, it's a powder pigment. You can already see it's really colorful. And really nice. So just a little bit. And it reacts to the water. And you can already see pools forming. And that will also be visible in the end result. Sorry for all this. I do have to maybe find another spray bottle, but this was what I had. Put this one on. Okay, so you've seen the three items I have put in, so I'm now just going to continue and we'll come back to you when I'm going to the other tray. So this is my last sheet. I'm going to spray it well so there are no dry spots. Then I'm going to put on some of these that are higher. Let's see, I have 5, 6, so I can divide them. Let's see. Then let's put them here, here, and let's do it here. And then I'm going to use some vintage photo. And then spray some tea water over it. And then I'm going to leave this overnight and we'll see what that will get me. I could maybe put some extra ornaments on. Let's see what I still have here. I wanted to put something in the corner. So that's some extra. So I'm going to set this aside. So here is my metal tray and I have these strips that I'm going to use. So in the same project that I have some extra paper and I think I can put 2 next to each other. Yes, so that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to start off, of course, with a layer. I think I need to put some more tea water in my spray bottle. Just 1 minute. So this is filled up and ready to go. And I'm going to put a layer in first. A little bit over the metal objects. And so it will not get stuck to the bottom. Because I've noticed that if this is dry, then the paper will cling to the bottom. So let's put in this. Oh, I have another bottle cap here. And this. Okay, this is a little bit unstable, but it doesn't matter. Because I am speeding up this part of the video as I'm just layering my papers. Spraying the tea on, putting some metal objects, some spray stain, and keep on layering and keep on spraying. As you can see, the pools are forming on the paper that will give a really nice, interesting look when it's dried. These are the top papers, so I'm mounting up all kinds of metal objects to give me some interest. Let's get rid of that price tag. And then as a finishing touch, I will put on some spray stain. And of course put on some extra tea water to keep the rust in. So this is it for now, and then I'm going to maybe, do I need some weight on it? Maybe not. Maybe I'm just going to leave it like this. One thing to keep in mind is that please do not stack like a whole pack of paper in it, except if you have like lots of floor to lay it all out, because the next day you need to dry it and then you need to lay it out. So you can, it's better to work in batches than to do a whole lot of paper. So that was just a final tip for this day, and I will be back. tomorrow, but for you it's just like that. We are still in my craft room, but on the floor. I repositioned my lighting and my camera, and now on the floor. This is the first time I'm filming like this, so let's see how this will work out, and I will be in the image. Hello. Maybe you will see me through the image, but it's also, you can see the process. It's been a night and a morning that this has all been soaked, and it's going to be a really grungy goodness, I think, if you see this. And see this one. I think it's also because of the distress sprays that this result is a little bit grungy. So if you don't want that, then don't use the sprays and don't use a very concentrated tea. So then you could, if you want a lighter result, do less tea and let it sit not for so long. Right, so I have my stack of tissue papers I've already used, and I'm going to do this one first and put this one a little bit out of the way. So I'm on my knees and I have this packing paper I will put underneath, because I don't want my floor to be stained, putting some tissue paper on it. Just stacking a little bit. It doesn't have to be really nice, it just needs to be functional. So I'm going to remove these metal objects first, and then you can see, hopefully, well, I'll remove them and then I will let you see. I can see a lot of stains. Really beautiful. And then these ones. Let's put this here. I will hold this up close. Let's see. I think you can see them. And then it's just a matter of discovering in how much this has gone through the underlying layers. So this one is very dark, and put them right here. And I see in the camera that it's a little bit shiny because of the light, because it's also wet, but I don't know how to do it better than this at the moment. This is also really nice. And you see here I have the third layer, the third paper, still seeing these circle. Oh, let's position this okay for the camera. You still see the circles, and I love that. So let's put some paper on it. So you can stack them. And now we're going towards the pigment colors. And this is getting brighter. So this is really nice. I think I'm not going to stack it up that large or that many. So I'm going to make another layer of tissue, but this is taking a lot of time and it will be a very long video if you would see every single piece of paper. So my storage tray is empty, and let's start now with this one. Let's remove this metal objects. I think I will have some really great outcomes of this paper, and I think this one I'm just going to stack those, because practically of space I need. Let's see, I think 2 next to each other, and then I don't know if you can see it in the image, but can you see this one? These were the first papers. Really lovely how that turned out. So this, and let's see what we can make from this paper. Some really nice small ephemera, some pockets. Let's put in another layer of tissue. What I'm now doing with the little water I have left in here with some of the metal objects, I have some just plain cotton fabric, and I will just rip some up, just some of these, and I love to work with them on making tabs like this, and you can easily stamp these, and I will just lay them out. They will soak up the water. Then I have them a little bit more colored. I'm just doing a few because I don't want every strip to be alike. Just I can make 4 of these strips. I'm going to lay them in the water. They don't need that long, not like overnight. And I will show you these as well as they are ready. I moved all my papers to the bedroom floor because I needed a place, and they will dry quicker this way. Now the magic has happened, as this first white paper is transformed through tea dyeing in this interesting looking paper. The tea dye brings out unique elements, and every piece of paper is a one of a kind, and I think it makes really nice, gorgeous looking paper for in your journal. So I will flip through these pages, and I don't have them exactly at the same order, but you can see this was the top paper with the nice circles. So this one is also the darkest one, and it will make a really nice journal cover, or a really nice inside paper, and maybe the inside of a signature. So let me go through the pages. And you see that these patterns will repeat through the layers, and they are lighter, and you can see a little bit of the paint of the infusions. And so based on these results, you can adjust if you want to paint it again or dye it again, and then maybe use other colors or more colors. So it's an ongoing process of learning, but I think this will also look very nice. Not every journal page has to be really bold. So these are really nice light papers with some color touches, and that's why I cut them to size. As you can see, you have these really nice edges, and it would be a shame if I have to cut them off. So if I already know the size of my journal pages, then I'll cut them to size before dyeing. So here is the Distress spray stain, the vintage photo I think I used. And you can see here, and some light pages. And here are the music paper, and I think this one's also really nice looking, a little bit of a dirty look. And these are the cream colored papers. Do love them, really nice. I used a lot of pigment on those. And this one and this, very lovely. I do like them. So the cream colored is, maybe it is some kind of different, has a different effect, and I do like it. And what it is, I don't know. Maybe it's a different quality of paper. Look at that. So these are my journal papers for my new journal project in the future, but I then already have my paper done. And then I have some small strips. They were the cut-offs from those, and I can create really lovely pockets or little ephemera pieces out of this. This was also the top piece, and I had two stacks next to each other, so this was also a top piece. Then this, really yummy. Can also make a really nice belly band. And then of course the other side's also interesting. Look at that. That was a really interesting effect here as well. So sometimes you don't know how you got it, so just be happy with the results, I think. Just do a flip through. And it's so much, you know, if you have like a piece of paper of this or you have white, it's, you know, quite a difference. So these are the small papers, and then I have the little strips of fabric, and you can make really nice use of it by pulling it through a tag. Maybe then cut it in half, have it a little bit smaller, but then having this like a tag, or just make a label out of it like this. And you can of course stamp it. So this is just to put in my stash, so I have some bits, and if I am going to use it, I can pull it out. You can look at my previous video, that is the flip out folio with junk journal inside, and you can see in the journal how beautiful it looks when you have tea dyed paper inside. So tea dyeing is really a fantastic way to make your junk journal pages more interesting and give it a bit of a vintage look. So I hope you can give this a try and see really beautiful results for yourself. So I love to hear about your tea dyeing experiences. So please comment below. How do you like it? And if you have done it yourself, and what are your tips and tricks? And don't forget to look at all my other DIY tutorial videos for more crafting inspiration. So thank you for watching and happy crafting. Bye.